In this tutorial we are going to add basic props to our scene, which are decorations, architecture, weapons, all that good stuff that you see in the game. And the way you do that is by placing an entity called prop static. There's prop dynamic, and there's also prop physic. So you click on entity, and through the objects you're able to select the ones that you want. I often usually select it, place it, and I double click and I change it through the object properties box. So we're gonna place prop static, and let me show you what we do have is there's a prop dynamic, static, and physics, and each one of them have their own function. Prop static is just a very basic object that doesn't move, that doesn't turn on or off. It has nothing to it, but it's a detail to the environment. It also takes up the least amount of memory. So once you have prop static selected, you apply it. So once you have that applied, you select the world model and then you click on browse. The browser window comes up, and this is where you have all different doors. So let me go through really quick. The mod on the left hand side is what the mod is for. Now the files is the different files from different packages from different maps, so you're going to be able to see everything that you select in here in this little world model view. You can filter them, and at this point we're looking for doors. So by doing that, I select door and I just kind of cycle through, see which one that I like, what will fit into my environment. And then actually at first I want to place a table into our scene. So I tap in table and I just kind of look through the tables that I want to place. Maybe this folding one looks good. So I'm gonna select this and I'm gonna double click and apply. Now I have a table in my scene. Now let me go into the top view and position it right here in the corner. Now at this point you may want to lower your grid a bit so you can kind of fine-tune and put your props a little bit more. Let me check if it's on the floor, and it seems like it is. Well, actually not quite. And now let's place a couple of weapons on our table. So click on the entity again, and let's select weapon hunting rifle spawn. So once I have that selected, click on the floor, and no, I just want one. Thank you. And it places it into our scene. Now I actually want it to be on top of the table, so let us go into top view and just start moving it. And now I want to rotate it so it lays on its side. So I take this here and rotate it. And the way you do that is when you click on your object, if you click it again, it gives you the rotate tool. If you click an object again, it gives you another scaling tool. You click it again, a move tool. So that's how you're able to rotate and rotate your objects. So now I need to lower my grid and make sure that the gun is on the table, and it is. And actually now I need to go into the top view and rotate it even more. It's going to be right on our table. Now let's put something more interesting than a static object in here. Let's put some kind of a physics object. So let's put a chair that we're able to kick around and actually move it around the room and shoot. And so it'll move and it won't be just a static object. And the way you do that is you select the entity and you select prop physics. Place it in here wherever you want it to be. So actually let me delete this and let me place it right here. And you double click on it and you go into world model, click browse, and type in chair or whatever else you want your object to be. So in my case I wanted a chair. And the way you know if that object has a static property or a physics property or a dynamic property is you go over here and you look at info, and in here it'll tell you if it has physics and if it's static and if it has dynamic applied to it. So this chair looks fine to me and it has physics like I wanted to. Double click, apply, cancel it, and we have our chair in the scene. So let's place our chair right on the ground, and let me quickly spend some time going over some properties in here. When you double click on object properties or you alt enter into an object, so you click on this and you alt enter, the same window pops up. In here you're able to change quite a lot of different you kind of have to go through and read each one of these. They all kind of tell you different things. They also will give you a help section to explain a little bit better. You're able to change some skins because some objects have different texture properties applied to it. So you're able to have different textures on each individual objects, and the way you could tell that is if a certain object has different skins is, let's say I choose street light, and under skins you're able to tell if it has skin 1, skin 2. Some objects don't have anything on them. Also under flags you're able to, there's a bunch of little check boxes that you're able to check on and off depending on each individual model. So you have quite a few different options for your objects. So spend some time. Different objects have different properties. Some of them you may not want to turn on depending on them. So that's the basic way you put models into your scene. So spend some time and making your environment come to life. And next tutorial we will add lights to our scene.